How's it going, beings of the universe? My name is Spoolfles, and welcome back to Gay Day, a podcast made by and for LGBTQ plus youth. Today's episode is all about... Hold on, I gotta grab my notebook real quick because I'm diagnosed with dumb bitch syndrome, and I forget things. Okay, today's episode is about Pride season, and I'm joined by a friend of mine. Friend, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Zam.
Zam, the non-binary man.
Hello, 'tis I.
Okay, so last episode we had my friend Nova, who was pansexual. This is Zam. Where do you fall on the gender/sexuality spectrum?
I am non-binary. I used to think I was, gender flux, but I think that's kind of unnecessary. Non-binary is fine, and I identify as demisexual.
Demisexual?
/ pansexual, but whatever.
What is demisexual?
Demisexual is when you only have sexual attractions with people you're close to, or at least that's the definition I peg onto it. I'm not actually sure what the real one is, but
okay,
that I think it is.
That's great. I learned a new thing about the spectrum, and hopefully, if anybody was listening and they can identify with that, they'll find some solace in it.
But I don't completely agree with boxes and labels, so
yeah,
I might not be that. So
whatever. Yeah, you're one of my more fluid friends when it comes to their orientation and identity, and you're really cool about it. And
oh, shucks.
Yeah. Okay. So, this week's episode is about Pride season. If you don't know, June is the month for the LGBTQ plus community. It's an entire month just... I'd like to think of it as the month where the straights don't exist.
I don't know about that, dog.
Yeah. They gotta go... Hey, question. Did you remember reading about that one guy who was a metal singer who became the mayor of a town for a day or week or something, and he banned all straight people from being inside the town?
What is this, death clock?
No, I think it was some metal singer who got elected as mayor, and then he was shortly thrown out, but he...
Of course.
But he didn't really care about the job and just wanted to be as funny as possible, so he passed a bill banning straight people from the entire town. And I think this was a very rural southern town too, so that take nerve.
Yeah, did he get lynched?
Oh no, he just got thrown out of office, and he was like, who cares, I didn't. And then he just left, and people just and the people in the town liked him too, and they were like, okay, this guy's funny.
This sounds like something I might do, minus the people liking me part, and besides being the funny part.
Oh, shut up, you are hilarious and I love you.
And I don't know responsibility. Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, that was... I feel like if I ever became ruler of the universe, I would just be like, okay, heterosexuals, you no longer exist.
It's not fair, dog.
Nah, I get the...
equality.
Nah, dude, get the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet and just... and then just, walk into, where do the straights hang out? Where do the a hardware store, just snap my fingers and be like,
Hey.
Come on, straight couples trying to renovate their kitchens and stuff. Okay,
everyone, it's not possible to be completely straight or gay.
Yeah, Like, it's a lot of people.
So, even if you were to throw everyone out of the town for being straight, I don't think anyone would leave because it's not possible. No?
Yeah, it's more or less like people. Like, yeah, of course this is a joke, but like, yeah, people seem to think that it's basically a one or the other argument, when in reality, even Bill Nye backs this up. Everything is a spectrum of everything. We're all a little bit queer.
Everything's gray.
Yep. Okay, so to keep a little bit of consistency.
The angels. Oh, sorry.
Okay, going back to the script, the first...
All around me are familiar.
Motherfucker.
Alright, I'm done now.
Okay, but like, on this script, have you listened to my podcast before?
You know, I've been meaning to.
How dare... I am actually kind of hurt by that.
No, I'm really sorry. I can say honestly that I've been meaning to, and I want to.
Okay, well...
Tell me where to find it, because I'm a lazy ass, and I can't do things on my own.
Well, I will send you a link after we're done with this of the playlist I have. Huh?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. But basically, I have this loose structure where I go through these little sections and just sort of give my 2 cents. And with guest appearances such as yourself and Nova, I'm kind of changing up the script for a little fun. So I added a section just for guest show appearances. So we'll see what happens. But the first segment is a piece called Let Me Be Queer, Representation in the Media. Basically, in this, I just bring up a piece of media that represents the community in some way or another.
Wow.
Yeah, so it could be like a movie, a book, a TV show, a video series, anything. Today, I want to represent Paris is Burning. It's a documentary about the flamboyant lives of drag queens and their houses, and how they live in a unaccepting community and how they live being themselves, basically.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like some drag queens really capture an essence of pride in a way. You saw my Instagram post, right?
I think so, maybe?
Yeah, I went... for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, at @BeWuffles, please check it out. I'm desperate. Basically, I decided I wanted to do a drag look because I've been dabbling with makeup and such. So,
I see it. There
yeah.
it is. That's great.
Yeah, the corpse bridesmaid dress, I call it.
Okay.
So I basically went to a thrift shop, spent $20 on a strapless dress that was way too big for me. Then I pinned a bunch of false flowers into it and put on a hat with a flower crown on it. And then
I've been wearing the same thing for 2 weeks.
Huh?
I've been wearing the same thing for 2 weeks.
Dude, same. We're garbage.
Okay, sorry. Please continue.
Nah, dude. This banter is what keeps this interesting. But
okay.
But yeah, so I decided to do my first ever Pride in drag. And a lot of people liked it. And I got a lot of compliments and I felt really, really cool.
I'm really sad. I missed Pride this year.
Oh no.
I was out of town.
Oh heck.
I really wanted to go though.
Dude.
For the past 5 years, but
dude,
this one.
Dude, to make up for all the gay I've been missing, I took basically every rainbow handout that they had. I even bought a small rainbow flag and a huge rainbow flag. The huge one,
Cool.
yeah, the huge one I kind of wrap
Yeah,
around myself
I
as a
got
gay
one of those.
protective.
Yeah, I got one of those last year.
They're really fun.
Yeah.
I kind of, oh, dude, you know what would be great?
You.
Aww. But what if we took our flags, wrapped them around like cloaks, and then first day of school we just march in, just
I
like
actually have a dress code now.
what?
I have a dress code now. I don't think Mr. Stuyvesant would be very happy about that.
Oh yeah, you got. Oh, do you think we should tell our viewers about like what our school is?
No, I
Okay.
don't care. I don't know.
Uh,
No.
it's basically a digital arts and performance-based school, and they have a tech
And
program.
Bruce. Oh shit! I'm saying names. I shouldn't do that. Sorry. But
I don't.
Bruce.
But yeah, like you got into the tech program, right?
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. So our school runs like this computer class, this PC repair class,
As an
and
intern, basically.
yeah, like a select group of people after a bunch of interviews get into the computer teacher's tech. Like they're called the techs, and
Yeah.
what they
Technicians.
yeah, what they do is they handle all mechanical and computer based.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, you have to like, don't you have to like learn code and stuff?
Yeah. For the end of the year, I'm gonna be a hacker. Just kidding.
Better not hack my Twitter
I'm
and
gonna
make.
delete your System 34 file, whatever.
But yeah, like the techs can't wear. They gotta wear a uniform of like basically a dress shirt because
Just the formal attire.
yeah, formal attire, like dress to impress, pretend like you have a job.
Polo and khakis, except I would be caught dead in polo and khakis, so,
Yeah. You
Shh,
like
shh. Don't mention the polo and khakis from the play.
all right, Froggy.
Ready to drop dead.
Cool. The amount of inside jokes from that play, though.
They still pop out of my mouth every now and then.
Uh,
Like a wart toad or whatever. Just flying out of my
dude,
mouth.
sometimes I just like wear the rose dress just to feel my moment of fame again.
I wish that could be a forever thing, like Broadway. It just goes on and on and on, and they never fire you, ever. And it never stops even when you die. Because I want to.
Yeah, so, yeah, but like how you got into the tech stuff, I auditioned and got into the advanced drama department.
Oh shit! I still have to write my thing.
I thought those were due before the end of the school year.
Yeah, well.
Have you started on your book report, though?
No.
Have you even read your book?
No.
Have you selected your book?
Yes.
Which
The
one?
by John Kerouac? Oh, wait. Can you read me the titles?
I don't have the list, but I can tell you what I'm reading.
What are you reading?
Slaughterhouse 5, because my
That's
dad...
the one I'm reading.
What?
That's the one I'm reading.
You're reading it too?
Yeah, who's it by?
Kurt Von Gutt.
He's good too. Okay.
Yeah, but like, according to what I've heard, that's like the quickest read on the list, so...
Yeah, that'll be easy, and plus he's a great author, so...
I've never read his works, I'm kind of excited.
I mean, all I do when these things pop up, the book reports and stuff... Anyway, all I do is I, read the first 10 pages and just fill notebook with the first 10 pages, it's that easy.
Don't we have
Skip.
to...
What?
I thought the requirement was like 10 pages worth of quotes.
Yeah, well, there's 10 pages right there.
You know, you know what I've done for the past 2 years of the reading list
What?
stuff?
What do you do?
Well, the first year I found the book I picked, Earthsea, incredibly unbearable. I do not recommend it. It is just the most droning
I know,
paragraph.
I tried at least 5 books in that list, and I just died.
Dude, The
I
Wizard
didn't.
of Earthsea. Apparently Ghibli made a movie
Oh, yeah,
adaptation,
I want to
and
see that.
apparently it's like one of the worst, well, Ghibli standard worst
Oh.
movies because it's like super droning and boring. And I can
Oh, well,
understand.
that's okay. I like movies like that.
No,
Is it
dude.
droning or is it slow?
Oh, it's so slow. Like they try to
Okay,
pack
okay.
5. It's so slow and also so confusing because they try to pack like 4 or 5 books into one movie and it doesn't work. But
What,
like,
like Shell?
but dude, I tried to read that book for freshman
Blade
year
Runner?
and I couldn't, so I decided to opt for buying the audiobook. Even the guy who was reading the audiobook sounded like he wanted to kill himself. Like, no joke. The guy who did the audiobook version just like I'm sure I heard him yawn at some point. Hello? Um, Zam? Zam, if you're a cool person, stay quiet. Hello? Did something happen to you? I swear, if you try to jump scare me, I am going to cry. Hello? Well, Zam is fucking dead. Great, now I have to fill the void. Actually, I'm just gonna end the call and then call back. Hello! What is happening on their line? Zam, I swear if you were murdered, I am going to murder you. Ah! They just left. How rude. Oh my. I honestly feel so attacked right now. And I don't know what to do. Like, what do I need to do to prove that we are compatible? Hello?
So,
What did you?
my iPad died.
Oh. Oh.
So,
Oh,
that's funny. I was droning for like 3 minutes before I realized, why isn't he laughing at my funny jokes? Why isn't he saying anything? And I realized, oh, it was dead. So I'm really funny.
Sorry. I thought you were gonna jump scare me.
I thought you were gonna jump scare me. Didn't like quiet. I'm like, what? Why the hell is he talking?
I was like, oh wait, is this a prank? Are they really coming for me on my own podcast?
I'm sorry.
It's cool, man, like out of your control stuff. So but yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, Earthsea sucks, and if you ever need to do quotes for a book report, read the book and then just flip to random pages and then write your quotes from there. Did you die again?
Boo.
You're a meanie. Okay, we have not made it far on the script. Let's move on to our next thing. What are
Sorry, weren't you talking about movies or something?
talking about? What?
Movie, right? The sponsored movie.
Oh, it's not. Paris is Burning, and it's not a sponsored thing.
Oh.
You think I'm well known enough to be sponsored?
No, just the thing that you were talking.
I don't know. I just said check out Paris is Burning because it's an interesting documentary.
Okay.
But the next section on this podcast is what are straight people? What do straight people do to make me tick? Today we're going to look at the angry straights of the internet, trademark, poking their noses in places they shouldn't, and not minding their own damn business. Have you ever had experiences with, like, hostile straight people online?
With what?
With hostile, like, straight cis people. Have you ever experienced that online or in real life?
Of course. I don't think it is limited to straight people. But I know that's not the topic of the discussion, so, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not, like, all straight people, but, like, you know, I'm kind of a bitter gay, so I'm like, straight people.
Not all straight people and not just straight people.
I know that, like, usually after this topic, I usually say hashtag not all straight people. But, you know, it's kind of like just calling out the years of discrimination that has happened from, like, heteronormativity.
I just don't approve of generalization because that's kind of what got his, was the problem for us. It's generalization, stuff like that. But I don't know, whatever. This is your thing. So.
Okay, how about this? While we do this, every 13 seconds you say not all straight people.
Okay, starting now.
Okay, so we're talking about the angry straights of the internet, poking their noses in places they shouldn't. And basically, have you had any experiences with people like that?
Yeah. Not all straight people, hashtag. I think a tough one for me is just the ignorance and where they're just, no, that doesn't exist. I guess straight people is all you can be and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, how they treat anything that's not straight as like a mythical beast.
Yeah.
Because apparently I'm a fairy, but I'm also a fairy.
And I just don't exist.
Oh, yeah. Another fun one. Oh, there's actually a website that...
straight people.
It's a website I looked at with Nova last time. It's called heterosexualinspiringpride.com.
Hashtag straight people. Yeah?
Basically, this is a website full of homophobic memes that were made in MS Paint.
Wow!
And it is the funniest shit, I swear to God. Like, me and Nova spent, like, almost the entire episode last time just looking at this website. If you ever...
Hashtag not all straight.
If you ever want to see ignorance in the perfect form, just go to that website.
Hashtag not all straight people. I saw this account on Instagram that was hashtag Black Lives Matter, but it was very specific in their Black Lives that mattered, like hashtag not all straight people. Um, it was saying stuff like, I mean, it was it seemed to be a religious kind of account. It was, God loves everyone. I mean, of course, if you're straight. It was very racist against white people. I just thought it was kind of funny because it was this great
Is it like
thing.
the
Let's matter.
is it
Here.
like the version of the modern day? Is it like sort of the modern day feminism thing where they don't want equality, they want more rights?
Basically, yeah. It was like they didn't.
Oh,
They also didn't support LGBT. They're like, oh yeah, God loves you if you're black and if you're straight. So it's kind of really
ooh,
funny. Just kidding. I thought that
oh,
was interesting. So
yeah.
kind
I
of
don't
was
know,
annoyed.
like
Stupid nose and
I
stupid.
mean, I think if you're gonna go like behind movements like feminism and equality and stuff, it shouldn't be a case where you're like, hey, I didn't have these rights as
Yeah,
long
like
as
you don't.
these people, so I don't want them to have rights, but I want those rights, because that just kind of creates more problems, if anything.
That's so fucking dumb. Like
Yeah,
that wasn't the point of this whole thing at all. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, I get it. I don't know. I just feel like there should be like equality and not like more rights for certain people, less rights for some. You want to know? Here's a good example of that type of ignorance. Uh, you know the Heathers TV show,
No.
the Heathers remake that they did.
Oh,
Okay, so
sorry.
you are gonna hate this. Basically,
Boy.
it's known, people call it the fake Heathers or Feathers, but basically they made a 2017 version, a TV show version of the popular cult movie and musical Heathers. And here's what happened. They made the Heathers minority characters who bullied the white straight cis kids.
Okay. I mean, I
Oh,
guess I get the power thingy, but
oh,
that's not fair to put that kind of light on somebody.
here's the thing though. Um, the director of this horrible abomination is known for being openly homophobic and very, very, let's just say, inappropriate and
Yeah,
kind of close-minded.
I got you.
And basically, like the original movie Heathers and musical, uh, the whole point of the Heathers being like these skinny white blonde chicks was to like show off the idea of like privilege, because like these were bad people and they were bad because of their privilege and they got what they deserved. But not only that, they were also three-dimensional characters that actually have human attributes, and you can see where their problems come from. So you could
Hmm.
actually sympathize and like think of them as people. However, in this remake, not only do they miss the point of Heathers so badly, but they do it in a way where they kind of glorify the idea of murdering minorities,
Oh,
and they also they
uh,
also sort of like they try to paint this whole extremist leftist idea and like push this conservative tone and nature. And
wonderful.
dude,
Just what we need.
they even messed up one of the most iconic lines. Like in the new one, the Veronica and JD characters who are basically just boring white people, who are like, I'm bullied because I'm white and these minorities are mean. Basically, they messed up the original line from the original movie, which was Veronica telling JD, you're not a rebel. You're not a fucking rebel. You're fucking psychotic. But you know what they did in this one? They were like, JD, I like your whole rebel thing. It just...
Oh.
Dude, they missed the point completely. No, okay, here's another thing. One of the Heathers is a gay stereotype.
Okay.
Like a gender fluid gay character. But like an asshole. And just like what straight people think gay people are. You know? Like misrepresentation in film and stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
It's absolutely atrocious. And
Right.
I don't recommend paying to see this or giving them any views whatsoever because...
Well, you have to realize that, I mean, some gay people are absolute assholes.
I mean, yeah, like, no matter what group, there are assholes, but this is a whole new... But this is like ultimate negative stereotype. You know?
Yeah.
Like, like super catty and vile and just like, disgusting and just, it's just not a good show. And it just like glorifies, and it just sort of glorifies this extreme idea of like killing people who are like treating minorities as dirt.
Sounds awful. Sounds like real life.
Ugh. Like, I don't know. It just makes me tick. How about a news section to, make us a little more chipper?
Okay.
Okay, this is the section called Blast from the Past. I look at things from our childhood and just ask, okay, that happened, but how messed up was it?
Oh, this is my mindset every single day.
Last week, I believe last week, Nova and I discussed, anti-blank PSAs. This one, I'm going to talk about summers as a kid. Because it's summertime. I mean, you sort of got the good stuff and the fun stuff, like, when you're a kid, you're like, no school, no homework, radical, we're so cool. And you're just like, I'm gonna eat popsicles, I'm gonna play with my friends, I'm gonna do blah, blah, blah. And you're
Our summers were very different.
my summer, I almost always got heat stroke from playing outside with people. Oh, one time we accidentally, well, not accidentally, I hid behind a car while they were throwing rocks at me, and my family, and my family had to pay for the window damage, because,
Sun.
Even though I did nothing. But, yeah, but like, summers kind of can get a little messed up in some ways. Like, where I'm from, I just remember hearing about all these, like, missing kids cases. And I really remember, like, being warned not to go in certain areas because there are chances of being kidnapped and diddled. To put it lightly. But yeah, like, I don't know, I just remember, like, a mixture of just being like, oh, I'm a relaxed, fun kid, while also being like, do my friends secretly hate me? And they kinda did. Followed by, if I go down that alley, a stranger is going to kidnap me and do unspeakable things to my no-no square. Stop. Don't touch me there. That is my no-no square. Okay, I got one question. So I see that your Discord icon is Skinner,
Oh no.
and I have one question.
No. No.
I made it, despite your directions.
Superintendent Chalmers. Prepared for unforgettable luncheon.
How much of that scene can you do?
I know all of it until it gets to the part. I always screw up when he walks into the dining room. Oh, yeah, what? Those aren't steamed clams. And he's like, no. I was screwed up. But
Yeah.
other than that, I know it all.
Ugh, man.
I'm a little rusty.
It's just, I remember you used to say it almost every day near the end of the school year.
Yeah, I'm a big faggot.
Don't say that. I think you're pretty cool.
Oh, sorry. I'm a little faggot.
Listen here, you little shit. I will reach in and choke you myself with friendship. So, yeah, summer. It was kind of fun, but kind of messed. Here's the new segment made only for guest appearances.
Why aren't you gonna let me talk about my summers as a kid?
You're right. How rude of me. What were your summers like?
I'm not telling you.
Then why?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? There's not really much to tell. I used to live in Oklahoma, so I would go here, New Mexico. I would go here every summer and hang out with my grandma. So my summer was filled with art, sunflowers, which is kind of cool. But my childhood was kind of rough. But my summers were great. Summers were a chance to escape, and now they're just low. Sorry, please continue. I'm done speaking.
Interesting. So, this is the brand new hypothetical game made only for guest appearances on this podcast. So, I'm going to ask you 2 hypothetical questions, and you tell me your answer.
No.
Okay, let's play.
Alright.
Okay, first question. At what point do you go from a criminal to a villain to a supervillain? Like, what's the cutoff point?
Do I have a time on it?
Nah, dude. Let your words flow free.
What was your question again?
Okay, at what point do you go from a criminal to a villain to a supervillain?
I think it all has to do with your mind frame, what your thoughts are, your intent, and how it affects other people. So
basically perspective?
Kinda, yeah. That matters. Your perspective matters. Like, if you're doing it to hurt others, then that's kind of evil, dog. But if you have the right mindset, if you're doing it for good, then that you can't be like super villain, be like that, because it's like you're a neutral good super villain, and it's like not possible. So like, so I think in how you impact other people. Man, I'm taking this.
The perspective thing could be a huge thing. So, like, take for instance, taking candy from a child. To you, you're just like, to you could just be like, I'm doing this because I want to, and I'm not bad.
This cry, or I'm gonna prevent this kid from developing cavities, and
yeah, but then, like, to the people around, it could be like, if a dentist walks by, your cavities argument, and he'll be like, that's a cool dude. Some people will be like, what an asshole. A security guard could be like, theft? Criminal? And then to the child, you're like the most evil supervillain of them all.
Maybe, unless he didn't want to.
I mean, if it was like prune chocolate, I guess. Like chocolate covered prunes.
Or licorice, or gross. Of course, I like both of those things now, excluding licorice. I will never like licorice. I will like licorice when I'm dead. Probably not.
Yeah.
I like licorice.
No. I think you become a supervillain when you like develop powers and are like exclusively being an asshole and being aware that you are an asshole.
Yeah, I definitely think there's two sides to the coin of villainry.
Yeah. Here's
How you actions, and the other one is how you act.
Yeah.
The end.
Here's another hypothetical. What would be the best powers to have as a villain / what would be the best villain plan to carry out with said powers?
I'd say the power of scissor hands and the villainry cutting down other people's flower beds.
Are you just writing the sequel to Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, except he's Rude Boy.
I would actually pay to see that, though. I think the best power to have, villain or not, would be like the ability to change percentage of chance at will. Or just like
Deadpool 2.
What?
Did you see Deadpool 2?
I did, but like, nah, this is a power I've been thinking about, like, before I even knew about Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
Basically just the power to just be like, what's the percentage of blank happening? And then you then you choose what you want the percentage to be, and then through random order, you can make that happen.
Well,
so
you could have a lot of paradoxes created with that. It's like, there's some things that just aren't possible.
But
0%.
then there are like a lot of. But then there are like then there are like a lot of things that if you don't put enough percentage into, or you don't think about, it could go wrong. Like say, I want a bath. What's the percentage that I have a bathtub full of macaroni? 100%. Okay, a guy driving a macaroni pasta truck and a guy driving a nacho cheese truck collide, killing both the drivers. The things fly, and your roof gets damaged as these fall into your bath full of driftwood and such. But if you were to phrase it in a way like, what is the percentage of getting macaroni, a bathtub full of macaroni, in a way that doesn't affect the universe negatively, and then you say 100%, then maybe it'll be like macaroni just appears in your bathtub.
I'm just not sure about that, Bryce.
Well,
I think a lot of issues.
Well, like, think about it from like a villain perspective. You could be like, what are the chances of me robbing this bank going successfully? 100%. What?
Well, I think you should have a rule. I think you should have a rule that it can't be 100% or 0%.
Okay, so like 1 to 99%?
Exactly.
Because then you also have that random chance of that 1% happening.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's sort of give this sort of random rule of like, if you do it enough times, then you run out of your 99% and the 1% kicks in. So if you use that method and you go 99% until you pull out that 1%.
But then you could just say, what's the chance of this bank robbery going unsuccessfully? 1%, you know?
Yeah, but like think of that from a villain perspective. Like then your plans could go off without a hitch. And then you could use that power for, like, world domination.
That's pretty cool, Bryce. I don't think I could handle with domination. Oh, body.
Honestly, if I had that power, I would most likely just use it to smooch a monster boyfriend.
I knew you were gonna say that. Something like that. I knew it.
What?
I knew those were your intents.
What?
I knew those were your intents all along.
Hey, can you blame me that I want a cute werewolf boyfriend?
No.
Like, you.
Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Wait, I have a superpower. How about now take this? How about omniscience?
Omniscience?
Like the power to know everything and stuff. That could go good for a supervillain, or
Oh.
actually horrible for anything. But
Oh,
I've
wait,
always
isn't
wanted
omniscience just like knowing everything, not really being able to do?
I mean, it doesn't affect anything that you do, but
it's like,
I don't know.
but isn't it like,
You would know how to create matter. You would know how to like.
yeah, like you would know, like, I guess that would be a good power, like knowing everything, but also, wouldn't it not be a good thing?
Yeah, that would be horrible. That'd be torture. Absolute torture.
Like, you could think you found a great guy, and then you find out he has like a weird cheese feet fetish. You know that's a real thing, right?
Know how to scar him for life to make him ashamed of his fetish, which in turn will make him move on. You know.
Have you ever heard of cheese feet fetish?
No, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I'll just leave you with this. Clogs made out of Swiss.
Worse than Crocs, which is hard to do.
I mean, they technically are Crocs. They got holes.
But worse. See, there's the cat.
Yeah. I know. I don't know. It's just, I don't get why people find food in the bedroom sexy.
Yeah. That's the whole blue is the warmest color thing that I just don't understand.
Why
do they include food fetish?
Why is stuffing? I don't know. Like, I think it might be a conditioning from, like, childhood. Oh, here's our new blast from a past discussion. Children's cartoons and the fetishes that they put into your children.
Oh, yeah, like Ren and Stimpy and iCarly.
And I just remember iCarly had a lot of feet stuff. And then I remember in some cartoons like Tom and Jerry, there was inflation. And,
Tom and Jerry, don't just include inflation. There's a ton.
Oh, there is a lot. There's, a cleaving fetish, stabbing, a lot of violent fetishes.
Yeah. There's a lot of
and then, like, 80s cartoons had, like, a lot of super homoerotic costumes for, like, superheroes, like Thundercats. Ooh.
Well, I mean, Ren and Stimpy, they were pretty blatantly gay, or so the conspiracy is.
Oh, dude, like, yeah, like, totally. They were, like, super queer-coded.
No, Thundercats, I love that. Not really, I don't. No, I do it. But it is a little bit.
You know, I actually follow this, artist on Instagram, who actually does, like, a lot of, like, leather drawings. Like, leather pup drawings. And, like, and they do it in, like, this toon style. Yeah, they're, like, a lifestyle, artist and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on from, cartoon fetishes and how you know what? I just gotta say it. Cartoons, they're made by people with weird fetishes, and they will continue to be made by people with weird fetishes.
People Duh.
I feel like the... Oh, you want to know what fetish I think Teen Titans Go was inspired by?
What?
Torture fetish, because it's torture to watch
Ugly
that show.
fetish.
Heyo! Wah, 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 wah.
Haha. The fetish for ruining things like me.
I will slap you with love and respect.
I'm into that. Wink, wink. Whoa.
Oh, you make me laugh.
I'm tired.
Okay. Moving on. It's time for the monster of the week. What monster should you be smooching this week? I can only describe them as they can change for you. They look great in anything and can be the perfect partner for your parents. Yes, everybody, I'm telling you to smooch and date a shapeshifter.
I think Pokemon are better.
Pokemon.
More specifically, Nose Pass.
I don't want to know what that is.
Nose Pass is the Pokemon I would be smooching.
I don't know. Pokemon, like, Monster of the Week is sort of more occult-based stuff.
I'm being really funny. Really funny.
You are. You're hilarious. My sides are killing me.
Yeah, I know. Shapeshifter is cool, dog.
Yeah, like, they can be basically the perfect lover. Like, they can change any aspect to, like, make you more comfortable, and yeah, I feel like they'd be a good partner.
Yeah, dog.
I stand by my decisions.
I wanted to be a polar bear when I was
Furry.
No. You don't know me.
Okay, moving on to our next topic, is that a theory? This is where I bring up a conspiracy theory that just, like, interested me. Because it's Pride season, we gotta talk about the amazing and powerful gay bomb. You know what this is?
Nope.
Okay, so this is a conspiracy that was very much popularized by Alex Jones, you know?
Nope.
You know, the guy who's like, they're putting chemicals into the water to make the frickin' frogs gay.
So that's the guy?
Yeah. But basically what a gay bomb is the belief that it's a capsule that puts female hormones into the air to make men lust for each other.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it is.
Must be it. That makes a lot of sense, you know?
Yeah. Another idea is that these bombs have been leaked into the water supply, so tap water makes you gay.
That explains everything.
I know, one moment I'm just taking a shower, the next moment I'm making out with 31 guys at once. And I don't know what happened in between.
I just don't
know. Could you imagine, like, that discussion with like, parents and stuff? Like, Mom, Dad, I don't know what happened. One moment I'm drinking some water, the next moment I'm screwing Billy from down the lane. Turns out he was taking a bath.
Ooh.
Yeah, so apparently the water supply made me a homosexual. Who knew? This is why we need Brita filters. Brita, they're the sponsor of this podcast. No, they're not. I lied.
Can't remember things. I'm really dumb, sorry.
Oh no, the only dumb one is me. Literally, I'm the only one allowed to be stupid.
Dihydromonoxide is bad for you.
What?
I'm telling you.
Dihydromonoxide?
Dihydrogen monoxide. It's turning our frogs gay.
Oh yeah, isn't it like the scientific name for water?
Yeah, and it's bad for you. Watch out.
I remember like doing a science class where we were asked basically that chemical name. We were given stories of like how it killed babies, and we were asked, should we ban this? And a lot of the
Yes.
class, including myself, were like, yeah, we should ban this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he was like,
Oh,
you dumb bitches, this is water. And
water is
then
very dangerous. It's turning our frogs gay.
And then I was like, yeah, it's water, but it kills babies. So
I wish it would kill me.
it can if you're deep enough.
Radical.
I love how this generation is just casually suicidal.
I hate it.
I was talking to my therapist about that earlier today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I talk about a lot of fun things in therapy.
I'm sure the therapist.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Honestly, she's great. She's this wonderful lady, and I love being in those sessions.
Why? She's like your mother.
Well, I like your mother.
I don't think so.
It's definitely true.
Line.
Oh man, for those of you who don't get it, this is an inside joke because we were in a play together, and
No.
I played a woman,
I was a geeky asthmatic nerd.
and literally my character was called Strange. Like the original character name was Evil Witch, and then I became Housewife, and then I became Strange Woman. I was like this close to actually ending up in I was really close to ending up being a wine mom who wore jeggings.
I'm glad that didn't happen. Because jeggings don't.
Yeah, I was that close.
I know your script name was like my dog's name. But worse. Because my dog was like, Hooper, Scooper, what'll it be?
Oh yeah, that was fun. It's just like I don't know. It's just yeah, that was like we had a live. I should make a video on this, but like we had a live script, and for those of you who don't understand that, it basically means that the creator of the play was still working on the script while we were rehearsing. So there were a bunch of changes that had to happen.
They were minor changes. I don't understand why everyone flipped flipped out, you know what I was trying to say.
Like if anybody got major changes to their character, it was me because like I had to learn I had to learn all these like evil laugh monologues, and then I just became a sad woman.
It was good though. It was good.
Yeah, like it was fun. It was a fun experience. I should definitely make like a story time video based around it. You know what I should title it? I was almost killed by my director? Question mark, exclamation point, okay symbol.
Not clickbait.
Not clickbait, not clickbait ASMR. Not clickbait ASMR, hashtag balls, hashtag low gang.
Fine.
Oh, did you hear about the Logan and Jake Paul versus KSI and somebody else? Like they're doing a boxing match?
No, you know why I haven't heard of that? Because I
Why?
don't surround myself with people who are full of hate.
Oh no, like I don't like go to their channels explicitly. I just listen to a lot of commentary channels, so I
Oh,
learn it. I learn my internet drama from them.
how's that going?
It's very fun, actually. Like, I've been watching a lot of the old Dry Scum drama videos. It's, I don't know, it's just kind of therapeutic to know that I'm never going to be like that. At least I hope I'm not like that.
Unless you keep exposing yourself to it, because people adapt. People fit in. It's kind of natural. Be careful.
Like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be on the level of just being, like, all about Gucci and stuff. Like, it would be nice to afford expensive things, but, like, I don't think I would, like, flex or anything, you know?
Makes me think. You know, that's really funny. Wait, am I getting this? I think I'm getting this mixed up. But doesn't Gucci mean like off brand? Like if
No,
there's a, let's say Valentino, so it's like Gucci Valentino. That means the,
uh,
doesn't it mean the
no,
Chinese one? Off.
Gucci is its own, like, huge brand, and, like, it's a thing people use to describe stuff that's good and expensive. So, like, how I say, like, sometimes I'll just, in conversation, just be like, yeah, that's pretty Gucci when I'm describing something positively.
I know. I just wonder why I had it in my memory that it's off.
I don't know. Like, there are a bunch of diss track artists who are like, oh, you buy Gucci? Well, I buy Valentina. Oh, you buy Valentina? Well, I buy Jurgen fucking Pampers.
Valentino bag. God,
I mean, I would like to afford expensive things, but there's so much great stuff that's super fucking cheap.
yeah, like love and friendship. Just kidding.
Yeah, you have to buy your friends. Ayo, wah 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 wah, air horn.
That's not possible from second to third grade.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
How
Uh,
much money I still didn't think. What?
there's a show. There's like this old Nickelodeon cartoon that I think you might like. It's called Making Fiends.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'll send it on typing because, like, I don't trust
I can look it up now.
fiends. I think that's how you spell it, but it's a very good cartoon that I recommend you watch because it's good. And I think you'll like that it has dark humor.
Ah, here it is. Cool. I don't think I've watched anything except all this summer.
Okay, well,
Uh,
you will watch it after the podcast. But we're getting close to the ending, so let's wrap this up and then we can go off and do our things.
okay.
Okay, after the whole gay bomb thing, we have Ask the Non-Expert. I go on Yahoo and try to find dumb questions, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our abilities. This is a question from a person who I didn't write down the name for. Why do they have gay pride? Question mark. I can't understand why it's needed anymore since gays have rights now. Uh, oh yeah, we totally have rights except for the majority of us in a majority of states where they actually still practice homosexual discrimination. And then there are also states that explicitly target homosexuals. There are also states that are trying to push laws that are denying emergency rights to homosexuals.
We have made a lot of progress, and
We have
equality
made
is
progress, but there.
equality is absolutely unattainable. But
Did you
we get
know that? Did you know that in Georgia, sodomy was illegal, or in some southern state, and the only reason it was no longer illegal was not because of the multiple gay people who were arrested trying to fight their cases in Supreme Court, but it was because of a man fucking his niece who wanted to fuck his niece in peace.
This sounds like Dr. Seuss. What?
There once was a man who wanted to fuck his niece. He wanted to fuck his niece in peace.
His niece, he wanted to fuck in peace. In peace, he wanted to fuck his niece.
In here or there or anywhere, fuck his niece. Yeah, you gotta, like, yeah, fuck the gay people, but we gotta allow this man to fuck his, blood-related people.
Yeah.
Because it's family values. It's family values.
It's character development. Wait. I can't. What am I trying to say? It builds character.
What type of character are you building with that?
I don't know. Disfigured child, I guess?
Oh no. Did you know that a whole incest cult was shut down because,
Oh.
What?
I'm kidding. Haha.
Okay, so there was an incest cult, and the only reason it was shut down was because the teacher of one of the children of this was talking to her friend, and the teacher overheard her saying that her sister was having a baby, but they didn't know if it was her father or her brother that got her pregnant.
No, I really hope that's consensual, because that's a big
A majority of it was not consensual.
Wow. Glad it's shut down.
So wait, is incest okay if it's consensual?
I don't know. I think if you're of age.
I'm not going to get into the moral rights of fucking your blood-related stuff.
Yeah, let's stay away from that subject.
We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, no siree, not on this good Christian podcast.
Pick back up on another time. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, why do we need gay pride? Because it's a celebration of our rights to exist.
Woo.
It's not really talking about getting more rights than straight people, it's just talking about the fact that we're making progress to be seen as equal. And straight people, you will get your own straight pride parade when you have to deal with discrimination on a daily basis. And
well, you can go to Pride even if you're a straight pride.
Well, yeah, you can go to Pride even if you're straight. If you're an ally, that's wonderful. But
Hashtag now straight people.
What I'm saying is that there shouldn't be a straight pride parade because every day is straight pride day. So stay in your own lane.
People are smooching it up in the hallways. There's your pride parade.
Yeah. Yeah, straight people, you will get your pride parade after you go through hundreds of years of murder and discrimination.
Which is so bad. A lot of people have, just not as much, I guess.
Sorry, what? My earbud fell out.
Nothing important.
I'm gonna find out when I'm editing this.
Okay.
I don't edit this, though.
Cool.
I guess it'll be a surprise. Okay. So yeah.
Oh, my cat's fighting a roach. Go,
Huh?
cat. My cat's fighting a roach.
It's just become a thing where every time I have a guest on this podcast, they deal with a roach. Last time Nova had to deal with like fighting like 3 different roaches, and
Was he in his room?
yeah,
So
is
he needs to clean his room. His
is
room's a mess.
I wouldn't know. I've never left my room.
I've been to his house a lot.
Mm,
Smells like not my house.
we should break and enter. Okay, how about...
I don't think his family would even care that much. His mom's like super welcoming. It's pretty cool.
Okay, next segment, second to last, I promise, is I'm gay for that. Things that just make me... This is a segment where I just talk about what I find attractive in a... What?
Bubba.
Oh. But yeah, I talk about what I find attractive in a guy. Are you saying Bubba?
No.
This week, because we're talking about gay pride, I wanted sort of to bring up the 7 deadly sin pride. Basically, I kind of like a prideful guy. I like guys who take time to, try to fancy themselves up.
Alright.
I don't know, I just like, I don't want a total narcissistic asshole, but just like, sometimes I'd like a guy to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna look in the mirror for more than 2 seconds, and I'm gonna decide to comb my fucking hair.
So not drag queens then.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Opposite of that, right?
Drag queens, the amount of time they spend in the mirror, oh my god.
I'm sorry, please continue.
Like, I wouldn't want a prissy guy to just be, like, constantly checking himself out. I wouldn't want one of those muscle dude bros who are like, ooh, I'm so hot. But, like...
I think obsession is unhealthy.
Like, obsession, unhealthy, but, like, I also don't want a guy to just be like, I slept in the same piss-stained underwear for 2 weeks now.
It's me.
And I don't know. I just don't want a guy to be like, I'm gonna step out and not worry about how I look. Like, sure, there's a sort of cockiness about that I do like, and that's saved for another episode. But
self-care, it's important.
Huh? Like,
Important.
yeah, self-care. It's important. Okay, final segment. You've made it. This is the segment which is the namesake of this podcast, Gay Day. And basically, it's a pun based around May Day. And it's just talking about, like, what's got us freaking out in the community. What's got you freaking out in the community? Zam?
Well, I think it's kind of troublesome that we're creating all of these new words and phrases and boxes for people to fit into. I think that is necessary to an extent. As I said earlier, obsession is unhealthy, and I think it's sort of become obsessive that we're trying to put labels on every single person. There's like a ton of different things, and maybe they don't even exist. I think that's a little unnecessary. I think it's kind of freaking me out, like we're reverting back to our old ways in a sense, where you had to choose something. It's kind of scary. And the fact that people refuse that any of it exists because of that reason. It's also scary to me, because that means I'm not valid. A lot of people think if we just had, if those weren't important to anyone, then our world would maybe be a better place. Whatever.
So, you're basically saying we should focus... What's got you freaking out is the fact that we've been sort of like reverting back to a sort of state where we don't
pick and choose.
So like a more pick and choose thing where you kind of want a more where you're kind of wanting to see people as people and you don't really want and you really just sort of want labels to go to a certain point but not too far.
I think gender is irrelevant. Gender is irrelevant, and I think if we all just maybe realize that you can be masculine or feminine or none, but you don't need all these little fancy words for it, you know? I know it's very controversial.
So kind of like how Nova pointed out whole pride flag thing where like there were 3 different ones to describe types of gays, like there was a twink pride flag and a bear pride flag.
Yeah, I think those can exist, but I don't think we should, focus on them so much. We need to focus on being better human beings.
I actually remember finding this. I'm gonna try to pull this up, but apparently someone decided to make a sexuality based entirely around basically trauma. Let me try to find it real quick on my Tumblr.
Well, while you do that, I want all your little listeners to know. When I was young, I was a wee kid. I thought it was very important for me to find a word for what I was, because agender just wasn't doing it. So I'm like, oh, I'm agender flux. That must be. But I realize now that wasn't actually. It just doesn't matter. So I realize that to feel okay with yourself, sometimes you need a word. But also realize that there are other things.
So,
Yeah.
so focus on being a good person rather than your label.
Focus less on what you are and more on who you are. That makes sense. And who you want to be, who you are. I see.
Okay, I found it. Dread sexual. A sexual orientation that fluctuates from feeling no attraction to feeling attraction. When sexual attraction is felt, it is accompanied by a strong feeling of dread or anxiety. That's trauma.
Me.
That is basically trauma from someone who's been sexually assaulted.
But that's innately human. I feel that. I've never been sexually assaulted. But I feel that, so that's just kind of an innate human thing. You don't need a flag for that. You don't need a word for that. That's just kind of natural.
You should see the flag. It's basically like a bunch of shades of red, like going down to the center and just turning darker by hue. And over it is a black rain cloud with black raindrops and 2 gray and 1 white heart.
That's the most edgy thing I've ever heard. Heart goes out to everyone who's ever been abused, but...
But dread sexual.
Wouldn't you want to try to get over that? Or something that's plaguing your mind like that, instead of identifying or placing yourself in that box? Buying a flag or whatever? You know, that's kind of weird. I think you would want to get over maybe some of that trauma that you're feeling. See someone, stop, get some help kind of thing. I don't know, nothing.
I'm reading the comments of this post, and like a lot of them are basically them saying, I guess I should cancel my therapist appointment. I just found my sexuality.
Cancel your therapist appointment because your sexuality includes being abused. Sounds great. Sounds like a swell plan.
My heart goes out to trauma victims. I don't want to make a joke of you. But, dread sexual, I think it's kind of unnecessary because, like you said, that's just sometimes that's just human nature, and we don't really need to make a label around that.
It feels good. Labels feel so good.
Yeah, they can be good, but they can also be kind of harmful.
Well, I didn't say they're good. I think they're absolutely horrible. I just said they feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Like
they're just sort of a placebo effect. But have you heard of Otherkin?
No! I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Please.
Oh.
What?
Otherkin is basically people who think they were born into the wrong body. Not like transgender. They think they were born into the wrong species.
Oh.
Some of them think they're vampires. Some of them think they're star children.
That's... what the hell?
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
You know that cyanide and happiness short?
Yeah, I hate it.
The one where he's like, I'm a tri-gender pyrofox.
Okay.
Basically Otherkin. Like,
this is where labels become...
I'm not judging, I'm just saying, I just want to know where I can cross, I have to draw a line somewhere, and I'm drawing the line when you think you're from fucking Saturn.
Hey, you don't know me.
Okay. So anyway, guys, that has been Gay Day, a podcast made by and for LGBTQ plus youth. If you're interested in other episodes, a playlist is down below in the description. Check out my other social media, comment, like this, and let me know what you think we should do next. If you have some opinions, let us know. Basically, so yeah, this has been Bewoofles and Zam signing out. Peace! Okay. So now I'm just gonna cut off my recording.